Hey guys, my name is Claudia and I'm here today to show you how you start your college application essay and little hints that will help you when writing your essay. I know personally when I wrote my essay in high school, I didn't know where to start. I had a lot of stories to tell, but didn't really know where it would end up. So hopefully this video will help you. If you don't grab anything else from the video, then you will grab these two tips. Tip number 1. Get an attention hook. I cannot stress this enough. College admissions counselors are looking through hundreds, if not thousands, of admissions essays a day. They keep on skimming through it and saying, okay, do I like that, do I not? And if you can grab them, they're going to keep on reading your essay. However, if you don't really have an attention hook, they're just going to briefly skim over your essay. So please, I know a lot of your English teachers have said, touch grabber, grab the hook for the first essay. This is vital when writing your college admission essay. Rule number 2, don't have sob stories, please. Yes, we all have those traumatic events in our lives. Yes, you can discuss upon that because, hey, you might be an amazing person because of those tragedies. I know that I've encountered so many things in my life that made me and shaped me of who I am. However, don't just tell those sob stories. Tell those sob stories and see how, and tell the admissions counselor on how that's helped you and grown. Tell them on how, because of this, I ended up accomplishing all these major aspects in my life. And that's what will make you different from everyone else. Okay, so now that I told you guys my 2 top tips of what I tell everyone when writing their admissions essay, I'm going to go into a step-by-step approach on how you can tackle each question on the common application. So essay number 1 says, some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. Okay. So do you guys remember tip number 2 that I gave you about the sob stories? Yes, this is where you can tackle your sob story and put that into there. Don't just write your sob story. Say, how has that transformed you? How has that made you into the person you are today? So don't just say your sob story. Say the outcomes that came from it and the meaningful and inspirational component that goes along with that. Okay, so essay number 2 on the common application. The lessons we take from failure can be a fundamental to leader success. Recount an incident or time when you experienced failure. How did it affect you? And what did you learn from the experience? One suggestion that you can do when writing this essay would be, how about I tried out for my high school basketball team my freshman year in high school. My families are sports fanatics, and I've been playing basketball since I was like 6 years old, but then my freshman year was the turning point because that was the time when I did not make the high school basketball team, even at the junior varsity level. Okay, that's a failure. All right, so how did you come through that success? You can say that you didn't make the high school basketball team, or you didn't make the high school football team, and that was one of your passions. Did you make it the next year? Did you keep on trying harder and harder and harder and persevere that dream to really make that team that you really want to be a part of? Or did that help you see a new perspective, help you see that maybe basketball or football wasn't meant for you? Maybe playing it at the high school level was not good for you, but you ended up seeing that, you would rather take your knowledge and coach a high school pee-wee football team or middle school basketball team. Or how about this? Perhaps you ended up volunteering more, and then you ended up seeing your passion volunteer, and then you ended up seeing, wow, I really love doing this, and I never really would have discovered this about me if I never made the team. So that's one approach towards going through that second common application essay. Essay number 3 says, reflect on the time when you challenged a belief or idea. What prompted you to act? Would you make the same decision again? The first thing that comes to my mind that you can tackle this prompt would be, just talking about your religion or your gender identity, and how about maybe perhaps your parents are strictly religious and they don't accept the LGBTQ community. but you were a part of the LGBTQ community, and how did you challenge that? How did you overcome their religion, but this was you as a person? And and what made you come out? How did that affect you? Was this a good decision? Was it a bad decision? Do you regret the decision? But let's say if you regret the decision on what you made, which I really hope that you didn't if you're part of the LGBT community, because you guys are awesome. That's on a side note. But how did your family take it? And if you regret it, why do you regret it? And if you would give this advice to someone else, what would you tell them? Question number 4 in the common application says, describe a problem you solved or a problem you'd like to solve. It can be an intellectual challenge, a research query, an ethical dilemma, anything that is personal importance to you, no matter the scale. Explain its significance to you and what steps you took or could be taken to identify the solution. All right. So just think of research, logic, change agent. Well, that's really what the last part is gearing towards, change agent. So let's say you don't like an education policy and you don't like what they're doing in the education system. So then you ended up confronting it to your Board of Education because it was a local policy. And then you ended up working with the attorney of your Board of Education. And then now you're going in front of Congress to, take part of this dilemma and trying to change that policy. And so it's going to help the federal and state and local level or something like that. Or how about you not necessarily like going out to Congress and presenting in front of them about policy, but what about if you're coders? I have a lot of friends who are into computer science, and they started up their own startup business because they saw a need in the market. They saw a need, okay, wow, I can really create this app, and this is how you can solve this particular solution towards society just by creating this app. So that can be one aspect too. You can say, look, I started my business because I saw that we didn't have this sort of technology into our market force. So then I ended up just trying to create an app, or I'm thinking about creating an app, which I can tackle this issue, which then it can change policies or it can change the way technology is going. But the main thing is, just talk about research and talk about something you found interesting in class and elaborate on that, and how, whether it's policy, technology, business sense, and how are you going to change that market? The key word here is change agent. So make sure you get across the word, not the specific word, but the concept of being a change agent and towards the dilemmas or encounterments or, the research challenges that you've endeavored. So question number 5 would be, discuss an accomplishment or event, formal or informal, that marked your transition from childhood to adulthood with your culture, community, or family. Okay, so one way you can write about in this essay, just some ideas, would be perhaps you had a learning disability throughout your entire childhood, and the constant stigma that society places on students with disabilities is that they're going to make it nowhere in life. They're going to achieve nothing. They're not going to graduate high school. They're not going to make it to college. But yet, that was your childhood, and that's what you believed your entire life. And that's what you believed of the person you were going to be. You were going to be a failure, not a success story. And perhaps maybe by your junior or senior year, you ended up getting inducted into National Honor Society, which was very prestigious, or you got accepted into this really well summer program that not a lot of students would get accepted. Students who don't have learning disabilities actually would not get accepted, and just a few people from the world or your area or will have this opportunity. But yet, since you overcame that, you're able to challenge everyone and challenge yourself that, yes, you have this, but it doesn't make you of who you are.